Hey there, all. Welcome
Hi, everybody.
to our first anniversary.
Wow.
1 year ago, the 15th, which would be tomorrow, but it was a Sunday, was our first show. And who knew we would be here, all of us, a whole year later, 53 consecutive shows. We certainly didn't expect that. We all thought it was going to be over by whatever, Easter, and then 4th of July, and then, I don't have to tell you. But the blessing of our lives has been this community that's grown up around these weekly shows.
Yes.
We love you all so much, and we know that so many of you have been here since that first week too. So welcome back. And if you're new, welcome to the show. This is not just a musical show; it's a real community in the chat window over on YouTube.
It's a get-together.
It's a get-together. Everybody knows each other now. They're all saying hello to each other. I can see my chat window down here. They all talk to each other during the show. And we always go back and read what y'all have been saying after the show is over. But if you're here for the first time, welcome. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube on a computer, you should see a little icon down at the corner. Hit that to subscribe. Hit the bell for alerts. And if you would all right now hit that like button, that improves the quality of our stream. And I want to point out, I believe Vicki Davis is here. Vicki is spearheading a contest. So she's going to tell you about that in the YouTube window. I'm going to leave that to her. She's in charge of it. Vicki Davis from Davis, California. And big exciting news, though. We are about to unveil
The unveiling.
Season 2 artwork.
Yeah.
Now, we kind of played around with artwork a little bit. Some of our specialty shows featured posters that I made specifically for that show. But when we hit our stride several weeks in, we got this wonderful painting by an artist that we met at Washington Square by the name of Johnny Grinder. And it was River of Dreams was the name of the artwork, and that was our backdrop. Well, we decided for Season 2 we're going to have a new backdrop. So we're going to unveil it right now. Okay, are you ready? I will give you a hint. This is another Johnny Grinder painting, and we thought it was perfect for our show. Ready? Pete, 1, 2, 3. Isn't that great? Wait, pull your chair back a second because I want to point something out. There's 2 little people down there. Now I know from Johnny and his partner, Orange Lee, that's probably them. I can tell by the hat. But I said to Johnny, it looks like me and Pete. And he said, well, it could be.
Well, it could be.
And so it is.
It's artistic license to call it.
And I think I'll take an opportunity just to let you know how you can look at his other artwork, because he's such a great artist. Yeah. Johnny Grinder. It's steam33.squarespace.com. If you're looking for that later, it's in the description below the YouTube video. The description section. So, onto the music. We got a lot of, I can't tell you, we got over 100 requests. So we're not going to get to everybody's requests, I regret to say.
But they're all in the hopper, so we will get to them.
They're all in the hopper
as time goes by.
But we got a very specific request on what to start the show with. Jeff and Kathy Carlton said, we would like to suggest that you start Sunday's show with the same song you played 1 year ago at the start of the show, Life is Large.
Yeah, very first song ever on the show.
They said this exemplifies your spirit of hope, joy, and love, something we all need, and something that you have supplied so generously over the past year. Aw, thank you, Jeff and Kathy.
For the kind words.
So here you go.
It really helps.
Ready?
Yep.
He had a hollow in his soul, a hollow in his heart. hit the road. Filled the tank and took control. Life is large, bigger than the both of us. Hey, life is large. All you need is just a little trust. Be yourself and stand your ground. Don't you let nobody turn you around. Life is large. Only got one chance to walk inside. If you should get lost, stuck in tight, just believe this road does not end here. No. How do you want to be remembered? A raging fire or a dying ember? Life is large, bigger than the both of us. Hey, life is large. All you need is just a little trust. Be yourself and stand your ground. Don't you let nobody turn you around. Life is large. Hey, life is large. Life is large. Life is large. Yeah, yeah. Woo. Yeah, that is a great way to start, isn't it?
It is.
On a
That's the
positive, optimistic
great way to start the
note.
show and a great way to start the year.
Terry says, "This is where it all started for me."
That's so great. That's one of the places where it all started for us, too.
Oh, are we gonna do this one here? We got, like I said, we got so many requests in advance that we're gonna we're gonna kind of do a mix of stuff that we got in advance and stuff that we see on that would make a great treehouse, wouldn't it, Joanne?
Oh, yeah.
It's a cafe. There's a cafe sign right there. I love, you know what Johnny does? He makes these windows glow. It almost feels like there's light coming in from within the painting.
A treehouse cafe would be a cool thing.
Shaped like a guitar.
Where you go like up into the treehouse, drink some coffee.
Speaking of guitars, Ed Dietrich asked for this one, and I have to play my Southern Jumbo on it
Right.
because this song is called Southern Jumbo.
2, 3.
Been too many days of rain. Looks like it's gonna flood the sugar cane. All the cotton's gone to seed. A little southern sun is all we need. That's right. So pour a little pepper on the gumbo. Turn the gears on that old southern jumbo. Tighten those nickel strings. How that maple wood loves to sing. Sing the chorus with us once again. Come on, I can hear you. Pour a little pepper on the gumbo. Turn the gears on that old Southern jumbo. Tighten those nickel strings. How that Maplewood loves to sing. Tighten those nickel strings. How that Maplewood loves to sing. How that Maplewood loves to sing. This guitar is so loud. That's what these jumbos were made to be loud.
Yeah.
Very loud. So
Yeah.
I play it when I want to be loud and when I want to play a song about a Southern jumbo. This is actually my favorite road guitar. Being on a stage with a big fat Southern jumbo, big fat sound, beautiful. But for our show, this one works really well.
Well, let's switch from country to kind of a yoga vibe. And
Okay.
I want to try the baby goat yoga sometime.
We were watching the Ozzy Osbourne, Jack and Ozzy, their
Yeah.
world detour, and they went to baby goat yoga.
Yeah. And it turns out it's a thing around near where we live, too, in the Hudson Valley.
I want to cuddle a
People are-
baby goat.
People are doing baby goat yoga. So while you're doing yoga, a baby goat jumps on your back and kind of, I don't know, massages you with its paws or something.
This is A, right?
Yep.
This is one that John and Karen Willie asked for.
Ready?
Wait. I'm clinking. I have to. I
Oh,
have
yeah.
to roll up my. You know when you got those brass snaps on your thing, and
I always kind of, all my jackets have this sleeve cut
I
off.
know I can't cut my clothes unless it's a fashion thing. Ready?
Yeah.
A 1, 2, 3. On a crowded city street or a garden path, when I meet with a tearful eye or a soulful laugh, I give the same greeting to everyone. It's really quite simple and it's said and done. Namaste, namaste, domo arigato, namaste, namaste. May you walk in peace, namaste, namaste, domo arigato. Acknowledge the divine in everyone you meet, yeah. Forgive, forget, protect, and reassure. Love's already there if your heart is pure. Even in dreams, you've got to be kind, 'cause flowers can grow in an open mind. Namaste, namaste, domo arigato, namaste, namaste. May you walk in peace, namaste, namaste, domo arigato. Acknowledge the divine in everyone you meet, So go out on a limb and take a chance. It ain't no heavy thing for your soul to dance. Hearts entwined can sing like birds. You're well on your way when you say these words. Namaste, namaste, domo arigato, namaste, namaste. May you walk in peace. Namaste, namaste, domo arigato. Acknowledge the divine here. Someone just posted a link to this show. Don't click anybody else's links. I can't guarantee that they're safe. I don't know what they are exactly. It could be a phishing thing. So if somebody posts a link in the chat room, if it's a good link, I apologize, but I don't want to take that chance with our faithful listeners.
Yeah.
So we are going to get something out of the way. We like to do this early in the show so we don't have to think about it. But as you all know, all of you have been with us for a year now. This is still our one and only gig every week. And while it is free to watch, we gratefully accept tips. And we're so thankful to those of you who have helped us out this year. I don't know what we would have done without you. But if you are in the mood to give us a tip, if you're able and willing, we can provide you with tip jars at a couple different locations. PayPal.me/The Kennedys Music. Or you can use Venmo, Venmo.com/the_Kennedys. And of course, good old fashioned US mail. We love getting real mail. It's like Christmas every week. So you can send us cards and letters to P.O. Box 8673, Tarrytown, New York, 10591. And of course, you can get all that information and more at kennedysmusic.com. Got that out of the way. And again, thank you all so much. You've really literally saved our lives, I think.
Well, I've got the Ricky 12 string.
You do?
The Rickenbacker 12 string.
Yes.
So we should do a song
Well,
requested by Ricky 12 string in Sweden.
actually, this is two European listeners have asked for this one. Ricky in Sweden and Alan and Hazel in the UK asked for this one.
It's a song about how we first met.
Yep. It was a rainy night in Texas. The river was running high. Anyone with any sense was inside, staying dry. The rain came down like hammered gold and rendered all things new. Like the Colorado overflow down Congress Avenue. Round, round, and traveling years is a mighty long, long while. When the long road stretches out ahead, 500,000 miles. stretches out ahead, 500,000 miles. The long road stretches out ahead, 500,000 miles. Yeah, that is for Ricky and Alan and Hazel.
Speaking of travel, we had questions when we had our Route 66 map up. If you were tuned in the last couple of weeks, there was a car up here and a car down there, vintage cars. And
Right.
people were asking, what kind of cars those are? There people like
right.
me who are car enthusiasts. So I did exhaustive research. And boy, was I exhausted after that research. I did exhaustive and what I came up with was, and you can go on the archive if you want to look at that poster again. At the top one
I wonder if I have that here.
was a 56 Cadillac Eldorado.
Yes.
And the bottom car, this was a tougher one, a 57 Dodge Coronet.
Wow.
The Cadillac was pretty easy to spot, but
wonder
the
if I have
Dodge
that.
Coronet, that was a tough one. But
Oh, here we go. I think I. Is that the? Oh, I can actually pull this up. I think for you, if you want to see it. If you want to see it.
sure.
Oops. I have to add it.
That's okay because anybody can go to the archive and
You can go to the archive.
go to the
Yes, you
archive
can.
and just look at last week's show or the week before.
Yeah.
56 Eldorado on the top and a 57 Coronet on the bottom.
Coronet. I thought that was an instrument.
Cornet.
Oh.
It's a coronet,
Oh, okay.
like a small crown.
There you go. I got it. Boom.
There's your Cadillac on the top and your Dodge on the bottom.
There you go. All that for that.
Car questions resolved.
Boom.
We're
All right.
real problem solvers here.
Oh, we got a lovely card in the mail from Steve Englander, and he lives in Texas.
Yeah.
Am I right about that?
In Austin, I think.
And I know from my own personal experience, the first time I ever set foot in Austin was for South by Southwest, I think maybe 1988. It was just around this time, just around St. Patrick's Day time. And I was stunned. I got off the airplane and it was 75, bright blue sky, sunny. I could smell barbecue from the instant I
Yeah.
landed. And bluebonnets everywhere, especially in the medians between the the lanes of
Right around
highway.
South by Southwest time.
Yeah.
There's always bluebonnets.
So we got this request by postage, by U.S. mail.
This was written by our dear friend and mentor, Nancy
Nancy
Griffith.
Griffith.
It's called the Gulf Coast Highway.
Gulf Coast Highway, he worked the rails, he worked the rice fields with their cool dark wells. He worked the oil rigs in the Gulf of Mexico. The only thing we've ever owned is this old house here by the road. When he dies, he says he'll catch some blackbird wind. He will fly away to heaven come some sweet blue-bonnet spring.
She walked through springtime
And I was home.
The days were sweet, the nights were warm. The seasons changed, the jobs would come, the flowers fade. This old house felt so alone when the work took me away.
When she dies, she says she'll catch some blackbird wind. She will fly away to heaven come some sweet blue-bonnet spring. Highway 90, jobs are gone. We tend our garden, we set the sun. This is the only place on earth bluebonnets grow. Once a year they come and go to this old house here by the road. When we die, we say we'll catch some blackbird wave. We will fly away to heaven on some sweet bluebonnet spring. It's when we die, we say we'll catch some blackbird wave. We will fly away together come some sweet bluebonnet spring.
Thank you, Nancy, for
yes.
that great song.
Wow, the wind is really picking. I hope we don't lose the power. I know that all across America, anyway, we got huge windstorm on the East Coast, rain in the middle of the country, massive snow in the Rockies. It's just this big whole hodgepodge of crazy weather. So we hope we don't lose the power.
So, having done a song by Nancy Griffith, why don't we have a couple more requests for people that we have known and loved,
That's right.
or fellow songwriters.
Yeah.
So let's do a couple of those right now.
Well, we'll do a song. This is a song that I remember years ago. Nancy was getting some hand surgery, and she had come up with this idea for a song. She had written some lyrics, and she asked me to co-write it with her, to mostly do the music. And so we put together this song about a woman that Nancy was researching named Dickie Chappelle. She was a Vietnam-era photojournalist, and her whole life story is compacted into this little three
By
and
we,
a
you
half.
mean you and Nancy.
Me and Nancy.
Nancy wrote the song.
Yeah, Nancy. And Nancy recorded it, and we recorded it. So there's two versions out there. This is the live version. And Amanda Trigg asked for this one. This is called Pearl's Eye View. 2, 3, 4. Oh, she was high up there in the air, caught still by a soldier's stare. Whenever it was men amongst men down on the land, and she followed those mother sons and felt the thunder of their guns from a pearl's eye view with just a camera in her hand. She was born Georgette, but the name didn't suit her well, so she blew out of Wisconsin as Dickie Chappelle. Well, she flew with the pilot's pride, the first witness to either side. She carried relief to the lost ones between the bombs, and we saw it all through her lens. But she knew she'd go back again when the call rang out once more in Vietnam. Well, she's been through this before, she'll tell you war is hell. Those pearly rings caught the light on Dickie Chappelle. Oh, that's the way it was. She was the only one to tell. In 1962, she blew the whistle loud and clear. And now we trace her wings in her footsteps where she fell, to the front lines without fear, where she lies still, but she's still there. She's still there. It was 1965. all along the enemy lines, but she never saw the one that took her down. Well, she captured the bloody pearls of war so well. That war was bound to steal the end of Dickie Chappelle. Dickie Chappelle. Dickie Chappelle. Yeah, that's for Amanda Trigg. She asked for that one. Pretty cool.
Let's keep going with a couple more tunes by
By friends of ours.
friends of ours.
This is one, we got another card in the mail from Pete and Wendy Stahl, and they asked us if we had ever heard of this guy, Dave Carter. And Dave was actually a really good friend of ours. We did gigs together, and we've recorded several of his songs. We never recorded this one, though, and it is a beautiful song. And it's funny because I mentioned last week I'm reading this book about Alaska, and it starts before there was any, like, even any living organisms. It was just a rock floating through space. And
Somehow Dave does this, and this song covers everything
It
from
covers-
the creation of the planet
to probably the destruction of it.
to, yeah.
So this is for Pete and Wendy. Gentle Arms of Eden. 2, 3, 4. On a sleepy, endless ocean, when the world lay in a dream, there was rhythm in the splash and roll, and not a voice to sing. So the moon shone on the breakers, and the morning warmed the waves, till a single cell did jump and hum for joy as though to say, this is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. Should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Then the day shone bright and rounder, and the one turned into two, and the two into 10,000 things, old things into new. And on some virgin beachhead, one lonesome critter crawled, and he looked about and shouted out in his most astonished drawl, this is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. Should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Then all the sky was buzzing and the ground was carpet green, and the weary children of the wood went dancing in between. And the people sang rejoicing when the fields were glad with grain, the song of celebration from their cities on the plain. This is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. Should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Now there's smoke across the harbor, and there's factories on the shore, and the world is ill with greed and will and enterprise and war. But I will lay my burdens in the cradle of your grace, and the shining beaches of your love, and the sea of your embrace. This is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. Should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. A treasure, written by Dave Carter. Every song, a treasure.
One of the greatest songwriters ever, really. If you haven't heard the rest of his songs, just dive deep into
Dive deep.
that catalog.
Oh, Vicky mentioned her contest.
Oh.
Oh, and it disappeared. It went away. Let's see. Vicky's contest is I could start a contest. We Kennedy's fans don't have a name for ourselves like other fans do, like the Grateful Dead or the Deadheads. I won't tell you what Dick Dale's fans are. You can kind of grok that on your own. So Vicky is starting a contest to come up with a name for, our people. So we'll let Vicky do that, and we'll gather all the names, and then we'll have a vote, and the best one wins, unless it's like Bodie McBoatface, and then we'll eliminate that and pick one.
Okay.
Can I tell you something really weird? I had a dream the other night. This is apropos to nothing. I had a dream the other night, and I dreamt that Ice-T's full name was Isosceles Triangle. And it totally works.
Yeah, it totally works.
I think about that and I laugh. Anyway, I'm stalling because we've got another request
That's for the geometers.
for another song we've never played before, but a lot of people have asked for Jon Stewart.
And this is related to two of our friends.
Yeah.
Kate Wolf did a beautiful recording of it, an old friend of mine. And Jon Stewart, an old friend of both of ours, actually wrote the song, and it's for a special occasion.
It's a special occasion. On Wednesday, which is St. Patrick's Day, it's also a very special day. It's the 25th wedding anniversary of Joseph and Kim Belogi, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. And so Joseph asked if we would play this song
This is for them.
for his lovely wife,
Anniversary.
Kim. And I'm going to put this on. And so, it's a love song. And I really hope that Joseph and Kim do a little slow dancing. Not too slow.
It's a waltz.
It's a waltz. We never play
Yeah,
waltzes.
everybody can get up and waltz.
It's
Do a little
waltzing time.
waltz
Everybody
around
up and waltz.
your living room.
All right. 2, 3, da, da, da. Some kind of love is like gold. That is the hardest to hold. It catches the eye of each thief passing by. Some kind of love is like gold. Some kind of love comes too soon. That kind of love heals your wounds. When your wounds are all healed and you're back on your wheels, they say that kind of love came too soon. Some kind of love, some kind of love. Everyone's looking for some kind of love. Some kind of love, some kind of love. Everyone's looking for some kind of love. Some kind of love starts as friends. That kind of love never ends. It comes on slow like a flower in the snow. Some kind of love starts as friends. Some kind of love tears your heart. When you knew it was wrong from the start. But try and explain the moth to the flame. Some kind of love tears your heart. Some kind of love, some kind of love. Everyone's looking for some kind of love. Some kind of love, some kind of love. Everyone's looking for some kind of love. Some kind of love never dies. That is the hardest to find. Through the laughter and rage, it mellows with age. Some kind of love never dies. Some kind of love is like gold. And that is the hardest to hold. Catches the eye of a thief passing by. Some kind of love is like gold. Some kind of love, some kind of love. Everyone's looking Happy anniversary, Joseph and Kim. I know
Yeah.
the whole community wishes you a happy anniversary because
Yeah.
that's just how
That was
this
a nice
community is.
waltz
I
scene.
know, really. Okay, we had a request from Marcus McAllen. And Marcus wanted to he not only wanted to hear our song Get It Right, but he wanted to know the story of how we wrote it. And it's kind of funny. We were with a publisher for many, many, many years named called Cherry Lane Music. And every now and then they would give us an assignment. And oftentimes it was for a movie. You know, they would send us a script for a certain scene. And there was a script that they sent us back around 2003. And they described this scene at the very beginning of the movie, or at a certain point in the movie when this thing happens. It's a life-changing thing, and the main character, is driving away, and this music swells up to express that scene. And so we wrote Get It Right for that scene in the movie. I can't now remember the name of the movie, but I think it might have starred Roger Daltrey. It was a made-for-TV movie. But it didn't get used, so it went on our album anyway.
But sometimes you write a song for a specific reason, and then it just kind of gets its own life going on.
So this is for Marcus, and it's called Get It Right.
3, 4.
Driving from the one that I became, knowing things will never be the same. Oh, and I don't know where I'm going, but I know where I have been. And the places I am leaving, I will never see again. Oh, guided by something more than green. Yeah, knowing I'm not the one you need. Oh, and the reins that I've been holding, I gladly will release, 'cause I know there's no controlling the soul in search of peace. The heart that I've been hiding will find a little light, something more inspiring, and I know that I will finally get it right. See the honesty in you. Yeah, knowing you see it in me too. Ooh, I can't give without a reason. I can live without regret. If I see another season, it's a joy I won't forget. And the heart that I've been hiding will find a little light, something more inspiring, and I know that I Yeah.
We were
That's-
listening to a lot of Marvin Gaye
Yeah.
when we wrote that song. Just trying to pick up that vibe.
We're like, we are really running behind, aren't we?
Yeah.
Should we go forward? Skip a couple of these requests and do.
Should we do our special event?
Yes, we're gonna. This one?
Yes,
Okay.
I think we should.
All right, so this is our special event. Last week, I always say we go back and reread the chat, and our friend Cassie in Sacramento made a comment that there are no good songs about Sacramento. And while I haven't done the fact checking on that, I thought it was like a really good opportunity to write a song about Sacramento.
Yeah.
And it's about our own experience in Sacramento. And it's called Sacramento. And I got to remember how it goes, because we just wrote it. And this is for Cassie. Uh-oh, wait a minute.
This is the first time this song's ever been played.
I know. Ever. So I might not remember it all.
But if we get anything
Okay.
wrong, you won't know because
You won't
you've
even
never heard
know.
it before.
All right, so this is for Cassie and Mary and Kona, and I forget the other dog's name. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. There is a place in Sacramento you'd pass right by if you don't know it's there. But you may hear the tempting tempo of a song that's rising in the air. And you may see the halos lighting just when the sun is sinking low. And if you catch her eye, she'll be inviting you back into her garden's glow. You can settle in the backyard and listen with friends to the music that's playing by the band against the fence. And I think you nearly passed it by and almost didn't know about the Bootleg Tiki Lounge in Sacramento. They say there's gold in Sacramento and a mother lode they found down in the mine. But if you come into her garden, you'll find gold of a richer kind. You can settle in the backyard and listen with your friends to the music that's a-playing by the band against the fence. And I think you nearly passed it by and almost didn't know about the Bootleg Tiki Lounge in Sacramento. Play it, Pete, get it! There is a place in Sacramento you pass right by if you don't know it's there. And you may hear the tempting tempo of a song that's rising in the air. So come on, settle in the backyard and listen with your friends to the music that's a-playing by the band against the fence. And I think you nearly passed it by and almost didn't know about the Bootleg Tiki Lounge in Sacramento. About the Bootleg Tiki Lounge in Sacramento. The big debut.
That was a great idea for a song.
I know.
think. Yeah, there had to be a song called Sacramento.
We do really well with prompts. That's 2 in a row. We're prompted to write one by a movie. And anyway, let's see here. Do you want to do this one?
Which one? I can't read it.
The sitar.
Let's do that next week.
We'll do that next week. That reminds us, next week, we got so many, literally like over 100 requests and more coming in on the thing that we can't do them all this week, obviously. So we're going to keep the reboot going, maybe for a few weeks, because there's so many songs we haven't played in a year that we will do that.
Let's wind up with a couple of uplifting
All right.
songs.
Michael Robbins and Ricky 12 in Sweden asked for this one. Is this in A or D? I always forget.
This one's in D.
D. I'm glad I asked in advance.
We want to kick the new season of the show off
New season
with
and
uplifting kind of stuff,
and
encouraging stuff.
raise your hands. How many people got vaccinated so far? There's vaccines going around. So that means we said A, right?
D.
D. Something good is going to happen. Ready?
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Planets seem much closer now and brighter than when we were young. Venus, Mars, and Mercury, and Saturn at sunset hung like a diamond on black velvet, just to the left of the moon. We watch the sunsets hopefully and feel inside that soon something good's gonna happen, something transcendent and real. Maybe a kind of beginning at the end of a long ordeal. We believe in a higher intention somewhere in the darkness beyond. There's a sign of affirmation that we all share a common bond. Last night we talked till midnight, then went out for a walk on the hill. The moon was just a crescent and the night was silent and still. But our souls in the darkness were dancing like the lights far below in town. Feeling swept across us, they were changes all around. Something good's gonna happen, something transcendent and real. Maybe a kind of beginning at the end of a long ordeal. We believe in a higher intention somewhere in the darkness beyond. There's a sign of affirmation that we all share a common bond. 'Cause we believe in a higher intention somewhere in the darkness beyond. There's a sign of affirmation that we all share a common I was thinking, while you have that Rickenbacker, should we do a Celtic thing? Because St. Patrick's Day is right
Okay.
around the corner. We'll go a little late. We always do. We don't really care so much about that. This is one John McGrath asked for.
Yeah.
We're just gonna. All right, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the summertime is coming, and the leaves are sweetly blooming, and the wild mountain thyme grows along the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go? I will build my love a bower by yon pure crystal fountain, and upon it I will place all the flowers of the mountain. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to the wild mountain thyme, all along the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? If my true love she were gone, I would surely find another to the wild mountain thyme, all around the blooming heather. Will you go, lassie, go? And we'll all go together to the wild mountain thyme, all around the purple heather. Will you go, lassie, go?
That's for everybody in the 7 Celtic nations.
Yes,
I can name them all.
go for it.
Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Cornwall, Galicia, the Isle of Man,
And New York City.
and Brittany. And New York,
And New York City would be the 8th,
could be one
I
too,
would think.
if you include the Irish diaspora.
Yes.
So that's what we celebrate on St. Patrick's Day. The
Well,
whole culture, the newer culture, and also the ancient culture too.
I've lost my capo. Where'd my capo go? Oh, there it is. I found it. That's one of the most oft repeated phrases on this show. A lot of folks asked for this one. I'm going to do a couple more songs for you. And we're going to send this out to Phyllis Ingmeyer and Timothy McAllister. I know at least those two asked for it, and I think a few others asked for this on the chat. Can you feel the song rising up? Can you hear the language of love? Can we walk together the winding road up to the rising sun? Oh, there was a time when we could only see waves of grain from sea to shining sea. Now the world is smaller, but our dreams are larger than they used to be. Whoa, come on and stand. Come on now, stand. Come on and stand. Plant your sword in the sand. In this age of unreason, there's a time and a season for love. Stand. Like the pilgrim traveling in the skies, I searched for God, I found it in your eyes. Now I know there That's a good ending place.
Yeah.
We're going to end it there and meet you back here next week and get more of your requests. And we're going to just keep sending them and we'll keep doing them.
Thank you all
That's what
so
we love
much
to
for
do.
the whole past year, and we already can't wait for the year coming up.
I know.
Our Sunday get-togethers.
And we can't
love
wait
this.
till we're all vaccinated and we can see you all in person and at a festival maybe and hug everybody. I can't wait for that moment. Anyway, thank you all so much for being here. We love you dearly. And don't forget, even if you get your vaccine, keep on masking up, protect each other, and we'll all get through this. We all have to do it together though. Okay, y'all?
More
Love you.
requests next Sunday.
More
at
requests
2.
next Sunday.
See you then.
Bye.